Buffalo is going to win it, folks.
Kick your heels up and shout.
We've seen why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now, baby, come on, come on.
No one
Come on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we are live, and we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Overdue Bills podcast, and we're definitely excited today. We're happy. We got a win. We got a win a few days ago. I know it's Saturday. I know football is going on. Y'all probably like, yo, what happened to the show? I was getting a lot of texts. But to answer everybody's questions, we here now, and then that's the most important part. We here now. That's the most important part. But with that being said, let's introduce the guys here today. We got a full cast except minus one, but we have our guy Matt. Yours truly is Matt, aka Matty Ice.
Full cast. It's a full cast.
Yeah, we can say that.
Yes, sir. Hey man, I'm good though. I'm good. Hopefully everybody's having a good holiday. I'm enjoying my time off for sure. Enjoyed time with my family. Glad to be back. Had to take that little holiday break. And actually a good day to be talking some Bills football.
Okay, wonderful. And you see him, our guy Rad, aka All Purpose Rad. Rad, what's up?
Doing great, bro. Doing great. Like I said, holiday season, a lot of family time. I don't know. I don't know if it's too much family time. It's never too much family time, but maybe it is. But a lot of family time. I feel like I haven't done this in a while, so I had to get back on. Let's talk some Bills football. Let's go.
Absolutely. And you see him there, Mike, aka 3 shows a year. Mike, what's up, man?
Getting his quota, meeting his quota.
Meeting my quota for I can say full cast. I show up. I'm like most Bills fans. Listen, September, October, November is cute. I win 11 games, 12 games. Talk to me when it's January, when it's wild card weekend, divisional, AFC. That's when I show up. But like Matt, we on a GM break. Shout out to GM for giving us some time off for the holidays.
2 weeker.
Shout out to the general. Yep.
Well, I took a week off prior to the shutdown for priority paternity leave. So I had a week off paternity, and now I'm getting the GM holiday break. So I'm killing it right now. So
That's how you do it.
Oh man!
Shout out to fraternity, man. We have different stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Telling my dad fraternity. What?
He said, "Yeah,
he would have.
Baby, I went right back into work for 30 minutes."
Sam would have had half of his career off. That's
Literally.
For real. He'd be still using it right now.
Yeah.
He'd still be using it right now.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate y'all. I want you to like, share, rate, and review this. Let me just say this now before we get into the show. I know it's a Saturday show, football going on, but we still want you to like it and share it. But also to OverdueBillsPod.com. OverdueBillsPod.com is where you can find all your Overdue Bills content, all your Overdue Bills merch, all your Overdue Bills everything. So please go tap into the website. And also, we appreciate the fan base, even though we're not on the appreciate the color. And let's get into the show. But before we do that, Matt, let the people know who is our presenting sponsor.
Yes, this episode and every other episode is brought to you by Art of Glass Smoke Shop. Just like the Bills on the field, Art of Glass Smoke Shop lights the competition up off the field. Art of Glass Smoke Shop, they have any and every of your smoking needs. They have plenty of selection in CBD, kratom, rolling papers, and so much more. Go check out Art of Glass Smoke Shop. They are located. They have at any one of their Western New York locations, and also their premium cigar lounge located on Delaware Avenue. Art of Glass Smoke Shop. When you guys go in there, you mention the Overdue Bills podcast. You get 50% off all glass purchases, and then you also, if you are using the premium cigar lounge on Delaware, if you don't have a membership, which I highly encourage you to have one, if you're a cigar smoker, You can also get just a day pass for that day, which is also great. Go in there, check their great cigar selection out, their great selection of drinks, and just go in there, watch a game, have a good time. It's a really good weekend to do it. Really good thing to do if you got some time off, or you got to get some busy work done or whatever. And go hang out at the lounge there. But yeah, check our guys out at Art of Glass Smoke Shop today, and shout out to you guys.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Art of Glass. We definitely appreciate them vibes. And to this, let's get into the show. Quick question of the day. I wanted to ask this, and Matt kind of alluded to it. He talked about it, right? Football is actually happening as we speak right now. We're live. Broncos and the Bengals. And I guess the pressing question for Bills fans, and I think that it's something that should be asked, right? We do play the New York Jets. In theory, we are in destiny because the Chiefs pretty much, they're probably not losing the 1 seed. We're pretty much locked into the 2 seed, depending.
They won the 1 seed.
Well, pretty much
they
like,
already won it, yeah.
Huh? They already won
won
it.
it.
Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah. So right now, I guess the question is, in theory, we're playing the Broncos as it stands right now. We do not know who's going to win this game. But we have the Chargers. They just won. Broncos, Steelers is out there. Colts, Dolphins, Bengals. So my question is, who do y'all want to see? I asked it before, and it was a whole lot of, doesn't matter. We're going to beat whoever we're going to beat. But I think it's a valid question to ask. Like, I don't think it's a scared question either, right? Like, yeah, whoever we play is whoever we play. But at the end of the day, in theory, you do want the path of least resistance. I mean, that's just the facts. That's why the Chiefs want to be number one. They want the path of least resistance. I mean, like, that's why you win games in the regular season, to be the 2 seed, to play the worst of the teams. I mean, so it's like, let's not kid ourselves. My question is, Mike, if you had a choice, who would you want to see? Or should we do some chicanery?
Yeah, that's why I wanted you in the fantasy playoffs too, for path at least.
Yeah.
You didn't win though. Honestly, and let me say this. Honestly, Jonathan Taylor, like, I mean, like, he literally took, like, my season.
Yeah, 1 week prior, it went over for me. But for me, do you want to include the Colts, Dolphins, and Bengals in this scenario? Even though they aren't.
Everybody's included. Everybody's included.
Yeah, for me, anybody, I would say anybody but the Chargers. I won't say the Chargers, but anybody but the Bengals. But I will include the Chargers just because they have quarterbacks that I think can have a day. We know Burrow can have a day. And Herbert, he just put up 40 on the Patriots. And I know every game is different. Rad will sort of tell me that. But last week, we struggled against the Patriots. And, Herbert just a 40 burger up on them. But for me, I don't see Russell Wilson. I don't see Bo Nix. I don't see Anthony Richardson. And definitely not Tua. I don't see any of those quarterbacks coming into Buffalo and beating us during the wild card. But I can see Herbert just coming into his own and having a Herbert game. And we know what Burrow and Chase and Higgins and what those guys can do. So any of the other teams, I'm confident the Buffalo will beat them.
Okay. Matt, how you feel about it?
Yeah, so I'm with Mike. So let's break it down here. Let's take a step back. So we have 6 of 7 teams that are in right now. Yep. The last spot. So the 6 of the teams that are in right now, we have us, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Texans, the Chargers just clinched their spot earlier today, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are in. Then we have 4 teams fighting for that 7 seed. We got essentially a playoff game right now going on with Denver and the Bengals, then Indy and Miami. So, I'm with Mike. I don't want to see. I'd rather see the worst. I'd rather see the worst quarterback in that matchup, right? So, because I'm also looking into, we have to play them. We're gonna have to play the most games to get to the Super Bowl. There's no more getting that one game off and resting, any of that stuff. So I'd rather have the path of least resistance myself. The other thing that's really important to me is getting the 2 seed now. I know people are like, oh, it doesn't matter, whatever, but I want to have a home game. Whether we have home field advantage or not, I want to have a home game. I want the Bills Mafia to be able to be out here and have a home game. Josh Allen and those guys to play at home for the rest of the season. But also, too, that locking up that 2 seed, if KC stumbles against one of these good teams, we can potentially have all 3 games at home, which I'm all about as a season ticket holder. I want to do it. So I want to see a Broncos team or an Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco, whoever that quarterback's going to be. I'm right with Mike. I want that path of least resistance, and I want to not play the Ravens until the AFC Championship. I think if we can make it happen.
Shout out to the Ravens.
How do you feel about it? You feel the same way?
Yeah, I think obviously you rooting for the Broncos right now, right? Rookie quarterback. I know Sean Payton, the officer coordinator, Super Bowl winning coach. I respect that, but Bo Nix coming to Buffalo, you want that. He haven't experienced that yet. Obviously a Joe Burrow done it, been there, done it, and won. So you obviously, and if they get, and then if the Bengals get in, it's all house money, right? It's just like they're playing with all the pressure's on Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? If we play to somebody like the Bengals, where it's like they shouldn't be here, they started 0 whatever, defense terrible, they find a way to right the ship, and they got one of the best offenses. And Joe Burrow, is got the best numbers. Everybody talk about MVP, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Joe Burrow got the best numbers in the NFL. So we know what he about. We know what he can do. So yeah, for me, I'm rooting for Denver Broncos right now. Hopefully we get Bo Nix.
I would say, and I like the Bo Nix. I would prefer that. I don't mind playing the Colts if they get in, like at all. Like I think the Colts would be like, we'd be in. You know what I'm saying? I'll play the Dolphins without question. Like they food. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing about it is, while I do think that we should be able to beat the Bengals, I guess it flows into my next question. The issue is, like, do y'all think that we're playoff ready? And what I mean by that is, and looking at our team and seeing what's going on before we get into the Patriots game, like, do you think that, like, we're playoff ready? Like, we're ready for a grueling 3-4 games or whatever, prayerfully, you know what I'm saying? Are we ready to be in those high pressure moments? Are we ready to put our defense in those, right? To see if we can get off the field, if we can get a stop, things of that nature. Like, do you think that this team is built for the playoffs and is playoff ready? And I'm going to go to Rad first. Do you think that we're playoff ready as it stands? I'm going to say, let me just, before you say we got Josh Allen and Josh Allen is this, that, and the third, cool. But I'm talking about the team as a whole. Granted, he can be Superman, right? But as we're seeing, we're going to get to this MVP question. There are other Supermans in the AFC, and that's just the facts. There are other Supermans. He's not the only one that can go into the booth, and take their team to the promised land. We've seen one in Pat Mahomes multiple times. He's actually done it, right? We have another one in the Ravens. Lamar Jackson are saying that he may be not Josh Allen this year. People are saying that. And even Joe Burrow head-to-head in the playoffs, enough said. There's nothing, we don't have to talk about that, right? So I'm going to ask you, Rad, do you think that the team as a whole is playoff ready?
I think we're going to find out this Sunday, right? Hopefully we, because I know it's the Jets, whatever, who cares? But I'm more so understand, can we lock up the 2 seed? Is he playing for something? The 1 seed is gone. Let's lock up this 2 seed. Let's lock up this home field advantage until the AFC Championship game. That's important. If McDermott is preaching that, if that's what our mindset is on, we can have this mindset of a playoff game this week, right? Because a lot of quasi playoff games is happening this week. If we do that, maybe we can rest some guys going, next week. I don't know how the whole thing goes, but I think this should be a playoff game. This is New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the field, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, right? They got guys where, talent is over there. And they've been playing okay football. So I think if we have the right mentality going into this game, it's going to let me know if we going to have another game like the New England game, not necessarily like, I'm not on a type of, we play a bad wins. I don't, we won a game, a division. So I'm not on that, but just the whole losing all through the whole game and, what I mean, squeaking out another one, like back-to-back games like that, that's not okay to inferior opponent. So I think this Sunday is going to let us know how focused we are as we playing our best football going into January. If not, we're gonna have to, McDermott gonna have to figure something out. Josh gonna have to talk to some people. Maybe we don't sit people out that last game. I don't know. We'll see.
So, Rad, you're at a wait and see. It's interesting that you're at a wait and see for a 4-11 team. Like, I mean, the Jets. I mean, granted, they play us hard, but like they're 4-11. Like they're garbage.
Yeah, but we we haven't been playing.
That's telling.
But no, we locked up the division 6 weeks ago. So the division been locked up. We've been hoping Kansas City lose to get to have a shot at the 1 seed. They haven't lost, so it's like we've been just playing football. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not saying you should be able to. There's added incentives when you playing for things, certain little things here and there in the season that you can, have things to play for. And the Bills, we've been in that we've been locked in a 2 seed for 6-7 weeks. So I'm not saying that's an excuse, but reality is reality. So if we can put it together to fight for the 2 seed, quote unquote, this week, all right, we ready. We locked in at least.
Us losing to the Rams though is the reason why the Chiefs can lock it up this week and not forced to go to week 18. If we would have beat the Rams, then the Chiefs still would have had to win next week.
Yeah,
they locked it up last week.
Well, yeah, that's because we lost. I would say as is, we are not playoff ready as of now. And Rad talked about playing your best ball going into January, right? That's something that the Patriots always did under Belichick and Brady. In September, they might go 1-3, 2-2. All right, always slow starts. But once it got hit December, late after Thanksgiving, it was like, nah. Now we about to start stumping teams because we ramping up for the playoffs. And I did like the Rams game. I like seeing a team that we know we can go out there, we can get into a shootout, because I was always worried about that. Like, what happens if we need to go put up 40? Can we do it? And we did it against the Rams, right? We did it against the Lions, and we actually won that game. But the defense been looking suspect, and we hurt. And then we, had to get a squeaker past the Patriots. And right now, we don't look sharp. The offense didn't look sharp. The defense is hurt. Milano's not playing great. Kyrie Elam should be playing flag football somewhere. Hamlin and Rapp are injured. The D line gets no pressure. Even when we blitz 5, 6, 7 people, we're not getting home. And right now, Drake May, yeah, you can get away with that. You see what happened with Stafford and even golf. Like, if you get a quarterback like Lamar, get a quarterback like Mahomes, if Burrow sneak in, the defense going to be in real trouble. And if Amari Cooper getting one target, if Shakir dropped a couple balls, if Josh is maybe off target, if Josh might have to run 100 yards, it's a lot that we need to shore up before the playoffs. And right now, I need to see how we look against the Jets. But right now, I want to say we look playoff ready. We're not playing our best ball right now.
So, Matt, and let me ask you this. As far as playoff ready, can you define the sides of the ball, or certain people? Mike talked about injuries. Like, obviously, we're dealing with injuries right now at this juncture. But, like, for you, is it a particular side of the ball? Is it coaching? Is it just, like, what do you think it is? And if we could do blame pie, I guess.
No, I mean, Mike hit it kind of right on the head. We are hurt on the defense. I mean, the secondary, you have pretty much one constant, right? Yeah, in Christian Benford, who should be a first-team All-Pro guy this year. He locks everybody down. He's our only constant that we can depend on. We've had weeks where Rasul looked bad. We've had weeks where everybody else has kind of had a bad game. So there is something to be said there. But the other part of it too is the D line, man. We have said it for so many years. They do not get as much pressure as they should. I mean, with Russo in a contract year, with Vaughn just taking up space out there, Epinesa showing some flashes. We got to get that. Like, I want to see Detroit Ed Oliver every single Sunday, dude. I mean, that is the key to our success in the playoffs.
Yep.
So that part of the ball isn't ready. I think the offense is going to be fine because Brady has found such a good balance of being able to run and he didn't abandon the run when we went down quick to New England. I don't think anybody thought we were in danger against New England, but I think the offense will pull it together and we have Josh. But the defense could be what lets us down when usually they're kind of the okay, they're gonna make it. But our linebacker room too. Dorian Williams needs to stay on the field going forward. I mean, he just makes plays out there. I mean, it's like it's when he's on the field, good things happen for the defense. He just, you know, whether he's around the ball for a fumble recovery or forcing a fumble or just making a tackle, like you always allude to what's his name? I don't know why I can't. Edmonds tackling backwards. You never see Dorian Williams do things like that.
Yeah.
So he's got to be on the field for him. Even with Milano back, his snaps shouldn't go down to like 0 or just special teams because he's a guy that just makes him and Terrell Bernard, they make things happen. So going forward, the D line, they got to get pressure so we can help our hurt secondary out for sure.
Okay, so we know the injuries, and let's just talk about the Bills versus Patriots game. Let's get into it just a little bit. You know, we won. It was freezing out there, and for all those people who say, like, I always push back on this is football weather. Like, I understand what people are saying, but that, like, it's not like that. That's just like, I would rather play football in better conditions. Like, we see better games.
Yeah.
This was just, it was freezing. The ball was like probably as hard as a medicine ball. It was just cold. My feet was cold. We ended up leaving early. I was not staying for that nonsense. But also too, like, because it really needs to be said, because that's why I asked the question: are we prepared for the playoffs? Because this is what we're going to play in. If we get the number 2, like, we're going to play here. Now, granted, we have good weather today. We're supposed to have good weather tomorrow. It's supposed to rain. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, rain shouldn't stop necessarily scoring in the league unless it's torrential downpours. But as far as like the cold weather, my assumption is that the playoffs will be freezing, right? I mean, that's just, I don't know. I'm not a weatherman, but that is my assumption that it probably will be cold, maybe some snow, some precipitation or whatever it is. And so my question is, situation where let's deal with the defense, right? Let's deal with the defense. Let's deal with some things that we've seen that you, I guess, like, and some things that you necessarily don't like, Rad. But I think that the weather plays a part. Like, maybe our defensive line can't be faster because their feet is cold. Like, I don't know. Like, can you help me out? Like, you know, I'm trying to shoot some bail. They suck. Like, they're bad players.
I would say this, you know, the home field advantage, yes, the weather, you know, for Buffalo, weather is part of the whole thing. But I mean, that's a part of it. Honestly, for me, it's them being home, being comfortable, sleeping in their own bed. You know, that whole routine being as normal as possible. And they normal routine. And I think that's the home field advantage thing for me. Honestly, you know, yes, I want everybody to play better. The cold weather and all that stuff, it affects both teams. But just being home for me is the thing that ultimately is the reason I'm pushing for the 2 seed, pushing for home field, for the home field playoff. So, you know, how they play it. Yes, we want, you know, I wanted the weather to be pristine. I wanted to be, you know, I guess in Buffalo, you know, 42, wind, you know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. That sound good, but if it's snowing, it is what it is. We can run the ball. We shown we can run the ball. Josh Allen can run the ball. He can play. He got the arm strength to play in all weather. So I think our quarterback, you know, if Baltimore got to come to Buffalo, that's in the snow. You know, that slows down Lamar Jackson. That slows down Derrick Henry. So that slows down Zay Flowers, and I think that plays into our benefit for sure. So I think, you know, maybe Mahomes, they gonna have home field anyway, but like him, he don't care because they already play like in that weather as well. So somebody like Baltimore, teams like that, a faster team, a team that, you know, we need to slow down. I think that helps us for sure.
Interesting. Matt, for me, can you just explain? Because we should have blown. Patriots is like awful, right? Like, we just seen a team earlier today, a team who I think on any field we're gonna kill. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the Chargers. Like, they killed them today. It was no contest. And my question is, why couldn't we just put the stip in the kibosh? Like, why were we sweating? Why did they get out to a 14-point lead? Why is our special teams awful? Like, why are we not talking about coaching? Is coaching anything about this, or do we just have bad players? Granted, Kyrie Elam is one of the absolute worst players we've seen on an NFL roster. You know what I'm saying? A la Aaron Maben type. Like, he reminds me of him. You know what I'm saying? Should not get on the field. Just a bad player. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. It's just. I don't know what's going on with him. You know, confidence. I'm not sure. So yeah, I can slide him over here. But I'm just talking about
if you talk about
else.
the whole game or just those PIs.
I'm talking about every time I watched him and I watched him intently, he was doing something bad. Like I like every time. Every time. It was one play. I don't know who.
The PIs are terrible.
It was one.
It wasn't the worst. You don't give up touchdowns.
Open. Dude was like, he can't give him a touchdown. Dude was wide open. What? And it was just like, it's like.
I mean, you don't want to be in a position to give a PI, but if a PI, I'm not mad at the PIs. I'd rather have the PIs than touchdowns.
Well, he gave him a touchdown. He gave him a touchdown. So I had no idea who that player was. Like, why is that player doing toe tapping? I'm just saying, like, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, why is he toe tapping on? I can't hear him. Like,
that was a dot.
You got a guy in Elam who.
Come on, that was a dot. You was there. That was a dot. I mean, it wasn't good. That was a dot.
Drake May, Alex Van Pelt, they executed the strip flawlessly, right? The first 15, the first quarter, they looked awesome out there, and then the train derailed for them because once you got past the script and once the better players got it together and we held it down, that's when we kind of took over. But I think there is something in coaching to that McDermott has to have a better, because he's shown he can make adjustments, right? But this season we've also shown that we've started slow or we've not been able to stop guys right away. They've kind of jumped right out on us early, and we'd have to either play from behind or even, be slow with the go. So there is some coaching to that. He's got to figure that out. Obviously, we got two very, I would say, easy matchups coming up, and then he's got to prepare for a playoff game. So I'm definitely, there's definitely some coaching to that. I think the coaching is huge. That plays a part in it because he's shown he can do more with less with the talent. So he's got to pull together with Babich and definitely be able to stop that initial script so we don't have to start slow, because our offense is not starting slow. But it's been the defense that's been kind of our Achilles, at least the last 5-6 weeks.
Well, I say this. I'm not sure how much, and y'all know more than me. I don't know how much turnovers is due to coaching. I know a lot of it is luck, but I don't know how much of the coaching and game plan and just coming up with a scheme that forces turnovers. And we are a turnover-led defense right now. But if you ask me, I don't think it's terrible for the playoffs, because you're not stopping Lamar Jackson, you're not really stopping Mahomes, you're not really stopping Burrow anyway. As we've seen that, especially Mahomes, once you get to the playoffs, you're not really stopping Mahomes. But if you can turn them over once or twice, if you can get a fumble here, you can get a lucky bounce like the Bills been getting, I think that'd be more vital in the playoffs than like a defense that's stout and get a 3-and-out, because you're not getting 3-and-outs on a lot of these teams anyways.
And that's why I think Dorian Williams and Terrell Bernard are the catalyst of that, because they're around the ball, punching at the ball. Dorian Williams, I think he leads our team in fumble recoveries. He's just around the ball, and those guys make those plays happen, and it changes. You're right, it changes the games because we capitalize on those mistakes pretty much every time.
And I mean, to the Patriots game, it's the same old thing, divisional games. But I bet if the Ravens podcast happening right now, I bet you the team they don't want to play, their number one team is going to be. We don't want to see the Steelers because we done played them twice. The third time, I know, but I'm saying it's the third time playing the Steelers. Lamar 1-8 against the Steelers. Like, it's a lot of things that go on divisional teams that play you play 3-4 times that you can't.
The caliber right now of the Steelers and the Patriots, bro. You know what I'm saying? To us, that's not apples. That's apples to oranges right there.
But I'm saying,
I hear what you're saying. But you can't use that in this season. I'd rather see the Patriots 5 times in a row than you know what I'm saying, than see anybody.
I get that. Antonio Gibson and Garfield. Like, what are you talking about?
But we won. Bro? Like, y'all acting like we lost the game.
No, we
lost the game. It's like y'all talking as if we lost the game. We found a way to win, and we undefeated at home. We 11-3. Like, y'all want perfection, and it's like,
I'll say this too. This is the first year that we've ever had a coast
number 2 seed in the AFC
season in the late half of the season. Usually we play our best ball right now because we're having to make a run in the McDermott era. We've never had a season where we're on cruise control since November. Like it's crazy. And that's it might be something different.
Nuance. You got to talk about the nuance. Yeah. You have the Ravens the Ravens just got back to the number 1 in the NFC North. They just got it AFC North. They just got it back 2 weeks ago. They've been fighting like other teams been fighting for other things, and we have not.
Facts. I'm cool with that. But here's my issue, and we're gonna move forward. My issue with what you're saying is when we talk about the Ravens, you cannot run against the Ravens at all. Nobody can. The whole season. Like that's one constant, that's one mainstay. No matter if they win or lose, whatever the case is, that like they have something that they can hold their hat on. Like so, when you talk about any of these teams, it's stuff that you can't run on the Chiefs.
You can't beat
is it a matter of not being able to run on them, or a matter of not being able to run the ball because they get out to quick starts?
No, they don't get because
you can't beat the Bills at home,
and you can't run on them.
You can't beat the Bills at home.
Your pass defense was so weak.
That's what you're holding our hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, home field advantage. You can't beat the Bills at home.
So eventually, there may be okay. All right, we put the Super Bowl.
It's a lot harder to beat the Bills at home, and nobody's done it this year.
It's hard to beat the Bills anywhere,
but it's especially at home. Especially at home.
We can win. We can win any type of way. We put up 40. We can win. We turn the ball over, lose the turnover battle. We win. I mean, we can beat.
We lost to all playoff teams. So let's do this. Let's do Rad Juice Player of the Game. Let's do Rad. That's the one.
All right, nigga. You can just say stuff. I can say stuff too. Like, what are you talking about?
No, it's a fact.
I can say things too, though.
Houston's a playoff team.
Okay, Chiefs lost to the Bills. They a playoff team.
In Baltimore, like, what do you mean?
Who did Detroit lose to? Who did Detroit lose to?
Buffalo and Tampa.
I don't know who else.
And they playoff teams. Who did Minnesota lose to?
Detroit and I can't remember. Somebody trash.
Now your playoff team. Like, what are you saying? Like, what are you saying?
I just made a fact, and you
like. Don't you want to lose to a playoff team more than a trash team? No.
Maybe not. I don't know. So let's do Rad Juice Player of the Game. Let's do that so we can move on. Let's do Rad Juice Player of the Game, and we appreciate everybody on today. And this segment is brought to you by Rad Juice. Real fruit, real flavor, real kids. Tired of the same old drinks? Rad Juice is here, crafted by young entrepreneurs with a passion for taste. Why go rad? It's real fruit adventure. Experience nature's finest. In every sip, pure and clean. No artificial additives, just pure refreshment. Triple the delight. Explore 3 exciting flavors: peach, strawberry, and tropical. And now you can find Rad Juice at 2 convenient locations near you. 716 Premium, shout out to El Jefe, located at 425 Elmwood Avenue, and Sweet Cheeks Cake Bar, located at 1685 Hurdle Avenue. Elevate your refreshment game with Rad Juice, created by kids, enjoyed by everyone. Grab yours today. Shout out Rad Juice, and I'm going to go to Rad first. Rad, who was your Rad Juice player of the game?
Rad Juice Player of the Game. It's so long ago.
Your boy, man. Your boy, number 4.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. Pause. He gets it a lot from me. Pause.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even say that no more.
That's it.
I'm gonna go Rousseau. I'm gonna go Rousseau on the last play. Because that last play to get the defensive touchdown, it's a combination of Rousseau.
If we're gonna say something, I'll give it to Elam. Like, what are you talking about?
Wow.
Like, why would you give it to Rousseau?
Rousseau and Teron Johnson, the combination of that play.
What am I talking about, y'all?
The play to touch the defensive touchdown.
This is what I'm saying.
The defensive touchdown.
We're talking about the Rad Juice player of the game, and we giving it to Rousseau. Like, the defense line was one of the worst performances we've ever seen in the history of life.
Johnson,
and all of a sudden, you're saying Rousseau.
Rousseau,
like, all right, bro.
It's a combination of Rousseau and Teron Johnson on a defensive touchdown. It's a key play.
Are we participation trophies?
Gave us a game. He said what?
Are we giving participation trophies out now?
How? What do you mean?
Like, I'll give it to Every time
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the play,
the
defensive touchdown play. I can't give it. That wasn't a key play to the game.
Mike, who's your Red Juice player?
Like, what am I saying?
I gotta give it to James Cook since Rat don't give it to his boy. It has to be him. He 11 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground. He led us in rushing and led us in receiving with 3 receptions for 26 yards, which is like, this is bad.
He scored a touchdown.
And with what touchdown? So he had 2 touchdowns, led us in rushing and receiving. Without him, obviously, like we lose the game. I think we got a nice 3-headed monster. I don't know if I call it a 3-headed monster, but we got a nice 3 running backfield with Ray Davis and Ty Johnson, with Cook leading the way. One of my criticism I always had about Cook was he always looked like he should be fast, but he would never run away from nobody. Like, bro, you going like your longest runs are 15 yards and you getting tackled. Like, even Singletary could run away for a 35-yarder once in a while. But this year, Cook been 40, 50-yard, just up the middle. He gone for a touchdown. And those type of plays, easy touchdowns where we don't got to drive the field. We can just 1-2 plays. James Cook, 40-yard touchdown. I think those explosive plays is how you get the 40 points in the game that we may or may not need, and how you control the clock against your Mahomes, against a Lamar, keeping them off the field with Cook running the ball like he is.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just going to piggyback on that. I mean, if it wasn't for Derrick Henry, James Cook would probably be the first team All-Pro running back this year in the AFC. So it's got 16 touchdowns on the season. He is our leading rusher. He's up there in receiving as well. And like Mike said, the biggest takeaway is now he's looking like his older brother, and he's able to score long touchdowns. So that's going to be key for us going forward into the playoffs and for years to come. So shout out to James Cook.
And I think that rotation is primarily because, we ain't trying to get him hurt. We're not, so I think in the playoffs, we're going to see a lot more James Cook. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's got to be because, I mean, yeah.
It's a good rotation, but I think it's intentional in the part of we don't want to put too much on him. When it matters, we going heavy James Cook. I don't think you're going to see too much of – you're going to see them, but I think it's going to be 80-20,
it was
25-25.
It was 11-6 for Josh and 5 for Ray. So everybody else was even, and he was around 11. So you're thinking he might get up to 17, 18?
I think every unless we blowing somebody out, I think every important down James Cook is going to be on the field,
even third down.
Yeah. The only argument I have for that is I think that Ty Johnson has edged him in some of those third down situations because he's shown he drops the ball, and Ty Johnson has shown that he's pretty.
Well, he's gonna play. This is not Ty Johnson not gonna play. I'm saying important downs. He's our best offensive player. Besides Josh Allen.
Yep.
He's the guy. I mean, I don't. It's not even a close second. Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Yep.
Shout out Shakir, but he's. I like Shakir, but he don't get the ball enough. And I like Shakir. Shakir is great. I love Shakir, actually. But Cook is, we need 20 touches in the playoffs a game, to me. He just need them. Just need them.
My Red Juice player of the game is Drake May.
That's Drake May. He looked good. Boss.
He did look, I'm just saying, but also thank God for him being a rookie. They should have won that game. And really, I was gonna highlight the head coach, Gerard Mayo. He might be one of the worst coaches in the league, and I don't like doing that to coaches first year. But it's no way they should not have won that game. Like that. That's how bad he coached, and down the stretch, Drake May just made inexplicable decisions. It was just like it was insanity. It was like, what are you throwing the ball to? Like, but that was one.
That's bad teams does do that. That's the whole point of why.
No, right, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So I'm highlighting that. Shout out to them.
Yeah, we've been a bad team a long time. We did a lot of those type of. We were so close to beating this good team. It's like, but we're bad.
And bad stuff happened.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't highlight anybody in the Bills because everybody was bad yesterday, the other day. So shout out to them. Let's talk about this game. Since Raz said this is the game that's going to decide whether or not we're ready for the playoffs. We're playing a 4-11 team. They're terrible. Have one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Coaching is abysmal. It's just a lot of things that are going negative for them right now. So I'll just keep this brief and quick. As far as tomorrow, 1:00, Matt, what do you think are the keys for success for us when we go into this Jets game?
Just continue to, the offense keep rolling how they are. I think, I think tomorrow's game might be a little more skewed with as far as getting pressure because Aaron Rodgers gets the ball out in the fastest in the NFL. So
we don't get pressure, by the way.
We don't get pressure anyways. But he's not holding on to the ball long. So that's a good key. That would be a good key, but he doesn't really hold on to the ball that long. But definitely just keep the offense rolling, and then we definitely gotta be more focused on the non-offense defense plays. Our special teams the last couple of weeks has shown.
Bro,
okay.
It's shown that they have been they got to tighten up. We had the block punt, some missed field goals, things like that. They're going to be a big deal in the playoffs, so we got to keep it
going. For me, let me just say, I think it's going to be. As I'm looking at the weather report now, it's definitely going to be rain, but wind is a thing that skews points. It doesn't necessarily skew it, but even with that being said, I think that running the ball is very important. And for me, it's special teams, man. Like I want to see our special teams better because that's a sign of a good team. It's a sign of a good team, a well-coached team. When all facets of the game, like people are in the right position and our special, this is like things that we're not. It's just like a fake punt. Like I know things happen, but it's like why are we not expecting certain things? It's just like, what are we doing? Like Sean McDermott, it's just like what am I actually paying you for, right? And for me going into the playoffs, I just want P's and Q's like that. I'm just being honest. Like I want us to be firing at all cylinders. Like I don't care about injuries. Like let's fire at all fat. I want things to happen like that, right? Tackles behind the 19, like stuff like that means something to a team. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see little stuff like that, it's like, okay, I know it's attention to detail. We're paying attention to those things. We used to be that team. That's like we used to be it. Granted, would I trade this for this? I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see.
Is it weird that McDermott is never in Coach of the Year discussion?
No, it's not weird. It's never. It's not. Why should he be? I don't know who's
we have the most wins over the last 5-6 years, second to the Chiefs.
Does he?
Yeah.
Obviously. I think the ascension of Josh Allen, obviously Andy Reid. Andy Reid always been great, but when you're your quarterback, it's deemed to be a top 2 or 3 has hurt you. I think his best year is that Tyrod Taylor year when he got Tyrod Taylor to the playoff. That was the best chance to get there. Picky Pete, all that. Yeah. Maybe that whole Picky Pete is the reason he didn't get it. He decided to start Picky Pete. So I think that was his best chance, and maybe that first year of Josh Allen becoming all pro, great type of coach. That was but now it's kind of like you got Josh Allen, so it takes away from it. It's unfortunate. It's crazy. It is. I think right. It is what it is. You got Josh Allen. If anybody win anything, it's gonna be Josh. And right now, he is 50-50 with him and Lamar.
But my thing is like, I love Tomlin. But like he be like 9 wins, he be like number 3 on the list. Like, come on,
every
man.
year. It's like, come on, dude.
I'm he a better personality too.
I think what Sean does with the defense, where it's at least he's mastering, I guess, what he came here to do, right, and keep the defense somewhat. Now we are seeing a little tail off of that. So now I think if he pulls it together, he should be. But also too, he kind of gets overthrown by some Herculean type seasons. Like this year, you got Kevin O'Connell, who's probably running away with it with the Vikings. Nobody predicted the Vikings to be where they are. You had the Browns coach, a couple of years ago. Guys like you got crazy
storylines. Not to make the playoffs this year.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was a narrative.
Fourth in the division.
Fourth in the division. Yep.
Like,
and then
it is a narrative
which will
one of his best coaching jobs, quote unquote.
Which will tie into us talking a little bit about the MVP too, because that's a huge part of that, I think.
Yep. But in terms of like the Jets, I think when I am looking towards McDermott and Bobby Bobich, because the Jets scored 32 over 30 points once this season.
Yeah.
And that was the Jaguars. I know we hurt. I know we got a lot of guys that's questionable and may or may not play. We'll see what the injury list is when it get finalized. But don't let Aaron Rodgers. I know he got Wilson and Adams and Brees Hall. I'm not sure if all those guys are playing, but don't let those guys come up here and put up 30 and force Josh Allen to have to be Superman to go win this game. Like, go lock up the Jets. Go get them off the field early. By fourth quarter, I would love to see Trubisky or just running the ball and just kind of eating the clock. I'm sure if the game get out of hand, the Jets gonna be ready to get out of there too. So let's go ahead and kill the Jets' will as soon as possible, and let's move on.
Yeah, I'd like to see the divisional domination for McDermott and Josh Allen continue to roll.
Okay. Yeah, you got something, right?
No, you got it.
I want to, because I do want to talk about. Matt brought it up, and before we kind of get into score predictions and kind of conclude the show, I do, since Matt talked about the MVP, I didn't say anything about it, but I guess it is important for us to note that Josh Allen was the front runner, right? I still believe he might be the front runner even to this day, but I think that the performance that Lamar Jackson had is, he's put him. There's a narrative saying, just two questions. Are we upset if Josh Allen does not win? And should Josh Allen win? And are we upset if he does not win, Matt?
Well, I'm not upset if he doesn't win. But at the end of the day, watching the debates throughout the year, I think, Emmanuel Acho, who is an MVP voter, he posted something the other day. He said, I want people to be very clear. And it makes a lot of sense if you look at the past couple of years. So I want people to be very clear in MVP voting. It is the player that's, that brings the most value to the team, not the person who's having the best season. The person who's bringing the most value to the team also having a good season, but doesn't necessarily have to be having the best season. That the offensive player of the year is the player who's having the best offensive season. So I look at the last two seasons. You look at the Chiefs, right? 2022, Patrick Mahomes won the MVP. They were the 1 seed. They dominated. Pat Mahomes was the juggernaut. He was the reason why they were in that position. Last year, Lamar Jackson was the same deal. They were the number 1 seed. He brought the most value to that reason. This year, Josh Allen, they're predicted 4th in the division, lost his receiver room. No chance they're going to be in the spot that they are. Up until this week, we were in the runnings for the number 1 seed. He is the Superman. He is the most valuable person on this team and put us in this position to probably have a home game every single playoff game in the postseason this season. And he was an integral part of locking up the division and a playoff spot by Thanksgiving. So, yes, I believe that's why he's a front runner, because he brings the most value to his team. Derrick Henry takes away a little bit of that value, I think, from Lamar, even with Lamar putting up the crazy stats that he is. Because you have that little asterisk, like, well, he didn't have Derrick these years, so you can kind of say, okay, he's doing everything. Now Derrick is pretty much going to be the rushing leader in the AFC. He is a guy that dominates at his position as well. So that skews, I think, Lamar's voting in a little bit, and also brings Josh up to the next level because he is the have to do it all, even though James Cook is having a great year as well.
Mike, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think I'm with Matt. I think just the whole conversation for me is kind of tiring on like 2 levels. One, the MVP, and this because of betting, right? It become like a weekly race. It's like, oh, Lamar played on Wednesday, so now he's the MVP. And then once Josh played on Sunday, then Josh become the MVP. And it's like, I can't even keep up with, because Josh was like minus 1,000 like a week ago. Like, it was like the biggest gap you ever seen. And now he's like minus like 180, and Lamar is plus 180. And just because Lamar went out there and had 2 good games on national television. And it's like, okay, what's really the criteria? Is it, you playing on national televised games? Are you the best quarterback that's on the field? Is the best numbers? Is it the value? Like what's really going on? And then for me, what's really tiring is it's turning into like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. It's like that's why I stopped watching the WNBA. Once you start talking about race and shit, it's like, oh, he's black, or Lamar is white. I mean, Josh is white, and you got Josh fans who maybe also maybe MAGA connected is now attacking Lamar, and Lamar fans is now attacking Josh and Buffalo.
Wow.
And it's like, all right, it's like if this is what Bart Scott and Ryan Clark is doing on ESPN, like Lamar, you can have it. You can have it. I'm not on the Mills train. Like I don't want the MVP. It's like Bills fans do have this weird like, oh, I don't want a top wide receiver. I don't want the MVP. I want to be the underdog, and I want a Super Bowl. Like the two not really related. You got an MVP and win the Super Bowl. But as far as the conversation, like if this is what like Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins now got to say things about what Bart Scott said, like don't even focus on none of that. Focus on beating the Jets. Focus on beating the Patriots, getting the 2 seed, and going through the AFC and trying to win the Super Bowl, and not worry about what the pundits are saying about the MVP race. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think the Derrick Henry thing is gonna take something from Lamar Jackson. I think if it ended right now, I think Josh will win it. I mean, I think we'll see. I think the betting markets, it's typically the emotions. Like you said, the prime time game. So those things you see somebody gonna put money on it. Like it's the emotions of people that's watching. So I think the voters, I think a lot of them, understands how valuable Josh is to the Bills compared to Lamar Jackson to the Ravens having a Derrick Henry and just having better offensive weapons going into the season and projected, to be better. They was projected to be the 1 seed or 2 seed. They signed Derrick Henry, right? That was a big deal. I think, even going to last year, Brock Purdy and CMC took from each other. They finished like 3-4 or something just because, and CMC was having, a Marshall Faulk year last year, and he didn't. So I think that they're gonna take it's a chance that Derrick Henry might rush for 2,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for you to say Lamar is the most valuable when you got 2,000-yard rusher on your team. You know what I mean? That's just, I don't see how that correlates there, but we'll see. I think Josh is the MVP, the most valuable player. I think, it's nobody else. I think shout out to James Cook. He's having a great year. James Cook is having a great year, but he's not Derrick Henry level or Shakir. Let's hope Shakir get 1,000 yards type thing. So I think Josh right now is the MVP. I think it's a little bit of, Lamar won it last year with not having the best numbers simply because they was the 1 seed, the most dominant team. That defense was playing good. So I don't think how Lamar won last year, I think that's going to form the same voters to probably get Josh out of the win this year, if that makes sense.
It remains to be seen. I can't wait to see it. I genuinely don't care. I just want the playoffs to happen. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where you make your.
I'm saying if
MVPs do matter, they do matter.
But we have one. We have one, right? Well, didn't we have an MVP before? The Bills?
Probably not.
Thurman,
we had one.
The OJ.
No, Thurman Thomas won the MVP.
Yeah, I feel like Thurman split with somebody or something.
Okay.
No,
OJ didn't get one.
He probably did back in the B Miller.
Yeah, when he ran for
that's
shout out
he
B
ran for
Miller.
2000. He had to. He had to get it for that 2000. I think he ran for 2000, or he had the record for at some point.
Yeah,
he had to win it that
year. Gookie Gilchrist, Kemp, OJ, and then Thurman Thomas.
Okay, so we got some.
Shout out OJ. Yeah, we got some. Yeah, Josh Allen should be on that list.
Piece, OJ.
But so let's do this. Let's talk about the contest. Let's talk about the contest, Matt. Let's let people know who won the contest, how they can enter into the contest, and then we're gonna do our predictions, and then we're going to end the show. What's up, Matt?
Yeah. So this week we had 2 winners. We had Antonio Harrington won this week, and we had 3 winners because we did a bonus.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we did a bonus for the T-shirt. So we gave away 2 gift cards this week, and we had a bonus, won a T-shirt, but it's pretty good. How the winner won that one because Ty Johnson ended up with no receiving yards, so it's just the closest to that. But anyways, we had Antonio Harrington was one of our winners for the gift card. Matt Augustine was the other winner for the gift card, and then Tassio Pieri won a T-shirt. So shout out to you guys. We are going to do another contest tonight. It'll be up tonight. Good for tomorrow. Going to be the Bills versus the Jets. Score prediction, how to enter. You're going to be following us in Art of Glass Smoke Shop. You're going to predict the score for the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets game. And as tiebreakers, we're going to do Josh Allen's passing yards and James Cook's rushing yards for tomorrow. So enter that contest. The winner will get a $20 gift certificate to Art of Glass Smoke Shop. And good luck.
Yes, sir.
Mike,
get in there.
Give me your score prediction.
Man, it's tough right now. But I would say I do have the Bills winning. I have the Bills winning 27-19.
27-19 Bills. Okay. Right.
Score got me.
I got the Bills winning 30-10.
Jeez.
30-10.
Oh my God.
That family time got Rad feeling good.
We can't beat this.
Matt.
We can't beat this 30-10.
Yeah, I think I'm right with Rad. I was at 31-10. I think we're gonna go out and do our thing, lock this 2 seed up, get a Mitchie T sighting in the fourth quarter. Hopefully he'll be playing 5. Hopefully he could play 5 or more quarters starting tomorrow. Because when we win tomorrow, he's gonna not. Josh isn't playing week 18. I'll just say that right now.
Yeah, I got us like 20. I got us like 20-7 at halftime.
I mean, I hope so. I think I'm seeing 24-21 like the last game. Tough divisional game. Aaron Rodgers is going to play.
Oh my God! Now we got tough divisional games.
Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers. They're playing for contract bonuses.
Yeah,
right
I can't wait here.
They're playing for contract bonuses, so we'll probably get the best out of their guys, some of their big guys, because they are playing for some incentives tomorrow, and that's about it.
Shout out to the Bills. Shout out to all the fans going to be at the game. Appreciate y'all. Like, share, rate, and review. Shout out to Art of Glass. Definitely appreciate them for being our presenting sponsor. And y'all know how we end every show with a little bit of that. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.